But before we get to all the fun that comes with Week 8, let's first put a wrap on Week 7 with another installment of top plays and primetime performers. We begin this week in the Colonial Schuylkill League and with the hottest team in that circuit, the Southern Lehigh Spartans, who won their 6th straight game over the weekend thanks to a Herculean effort on the ground from Cade Sawyer. The junior with 20 carries against Saucon Valley, resulting in a season-high 201 yards and 4 touchdowns. After TD runs of 3, 5, 7, and 23 yards, Sawyer is quickly closing in on 1,000 yards rushing this year, having already produced 11 rushing scores overall just in 7 games. But he didn't just get it done on offense Friday, as Sawyer was also part of a Southern Lehigh defense that forced 4 takeaways, including 3 interceptions against the Panthers. Sawyer's pick came late in the second quarter after sophomore Andrew Olish returned this first quarter INT 28 yards to the house. That was Olish's 3rd pick overall and his 2nd return for a touchdown this year. Southern Lehigh entered Friday's game with just 4 interceptions overall, but left with 7 after freshman Elian Gonzalez ripped this one away in quarter number 4. Spartans are 6-1 overall and currently atop the District 11 5A standings. Defense a big part of getting Bethlehem Catholic back in the win column over the weekend. A pair of TD tosses from Luke Thomas to Jaden Ellis-Leahy had the Hawks even with Easton at 14 apiece in the 4th quarter. That when sophomore DJ Kelly made the play of the game, intercepting this Joey Martinez pass in the red zone and taking it 90 yards to pay dirt. That gave Becca a 7-point edge at the time. Golden Hawks would go on to down the Rovers 28-14. They're moving to 4-3 on the year and into the top spot in the District 4A table. The team nipping on the Hawks' heels in 4A is Central Catholic, whose plan of attack this season has been to ground and pound its opponents. That punishing rushing attack was back in full force Saturday against Nazareth, as Caden Schaefer carried the ball 33 times for 162 yards and a pair of scores. The senior now up to a baker's dozen rushing TDs this fall. Schaefer first finding the end zone from 12 yards out before a 1-yard TD plunge gave the Vikings a 14-7 lead early in the second quarter. But the Blue Eagles were able to tie things before halftime and then soared to 28 straight second-half points, thanks in large part to Mason Keener, who was a touchdown machine on Saturday. The junior with 10 total touches, finding the end zone with 4 of them. It was his 4-yard run that drew things even as time expired in the second quarter, before then accounting for 3 of the game's final 4 touchdowns. All told, Keener carried the ball 7 times for 31 yards and a trio of scores, adding 3 catches for another 78 yards, highlighted by this 25-yard TD catch. Nazareth is now 6-1, 3rd in District 6A, ready to host unbeaten Emmaus on Friday. The team just behind Nazareth in the 6A standings is Freedom, which might just be the hottest team in all the 6A class. And senior tailback Jalen Fletcher has a lot to do with it. The Patriots racked up over 400 yards on the ground Friday against Whitehall, highlighted by a season-high 267 from Fletcher. The senior breaking off huge runs of 41, 63, and 71 yards, setting up a pair of short TDs. Fletcher is quickly closing in on 1,000 yards this season. He's averaging better than 8 yards per tote and over 137 rushing yards per game. Freedom has now won 4 straight, and at 5-2 overall is 4th in the District 11 6A standings. Freedom on a roll, Fletcher a big part of it. Finally, over in the Garden State, special teams were exactly that for Phillipsburg on Friday, as the State Liners kept their perfect record intact with a come-from-behind win over Bridgewater. Leading 14-7 in the 3rd quarter, Cameron Bohall with a blocked punt, leading to this 18-yard scoop and score by Matthew Skirbo Jr. Tremendous anticipation by the junior, expanding the Liners' lead to 2 possessions. Bohall then at it again following a Bridgewater score, blocking the point after to keep Peaburg in front by 8. Liners would ultimately top the Panthers 28-13 in moving to 6-0 on the year.